Good morning. I hit a huge brain injury milestone yesterday. So for all of you that have been watching my videos on post-concussive syndrome and struggling with that, even after one of the top neurosurgeons in Toronto said I would not get better and I would not be feeling any better than I was when I was sitting in his office, a lie. That's so not true. And yesterday, for the first time ever, I made plans forgetting that I had a brain injury. So at first, when you get hurt, it becomes your identity, right? Because the brain injury literally consumes you totally, and it occupies every moment of your reality. Be it pain, symptoms, limitations, it's just so much stuff. So you kind of identify with with the condition, and it becomes literally, you're Daniela, the brain injury girl. That's kind of how I felt for the first 2 years. It's almost 2 years. My accident was December 29, 2010. We're now near the end of October 2012. So it's been a long road. And I personally believe I got a miracle. I had a strange man months ago come and pray on me, and ever since that day, I've seen only improvements, and not even just in my brain injury. My entire life has blossomed, career, everything. So that guy, I got an edge for sure with that man. But and maybe that was just it. But anyway, yesterday we had a big meeting. I have a new job, and I went from having a job to a career. And in the midst of brain injury recovery, that's almost unheard of, I think. My salary literally tripled. And before, I went from having to be somewhere at 6 in the morning, which meant I had to wake up at 4 to get there on time. And it was like chaotic and in front of the computer for 6 solid hours with no reprieve, which really triggered a lot of symptoms, my eyes, all sorts of things. And it was hard on my body. And then by the grace of God, I got this job. This new job where I set my own hours, I can work from home. It's like a totally different trip. And if I'm not good on the computer that day, there's 1,000 other things that I could do on the phone, whatever. So I don't have to do one thing for 6 solid hours. I'm constantly moving around. And way more active as well. I go out a lot. We meet at restaurants, cafes, that sort of shit. So my body's moving more, and I've instant improvement. And it's very challenging mentally, which is what intimidated me with the brain injury going into this career. Because before, I worked at an emergency order desk. So I would get invoices, I would fill out the invoices on the computer, and then call it a day. Where this is more business strategy, long-term thinking. I have to do business plans, marketing plans, that sort of thing. So it's a very dynamic, creative role. And I was intimidated by that. But again, just like going back to work, my regular day job was medicinal for my brain injury. When WSIB forced me to go back, I hated them for it, because I really wasn't feeling well, and I probably wasn't ready to go back, honestly. But it did help. It really honestly did help. So if you have a brain injury and they're making you go back to work, I know how scared you are. Trust me, I know. But let me tell you, it helps. It really does work your brain. It really does wake you up. Now I was able to quit the day job, thank God, because I was exhausted. But again, this career just keeps challenging me. And yesterday we were in this big meeting, and we're doing our long-term projections or whatever. And I forgot I was sick. Like, I totally just didn't register that I have a problem. And we were talking about what we want to do to develop or whatever, and our business is expanding. And I thought, it would be great if I could learn French. I've always wanted to learn French. We're a bilingual country. Just as a matter of respect, I'd like to learn French. And I said it in passing. And my boss piped up and said I would pay for that. I would think that's a great idea. I think we need it in the business. And I would be happy to pay for you to learn French. If you're willing, go right ahead. Go order whatever you need to order. Book yourself in. But I'd like you to learn French. That would be great. And it didn't even occur to me that I couldn't. It didn't occur to me that it's a challenge for my brain. It didn't even cross my mind. I couldn't get past. I'm going to learn French. And it ended there. And I was excited. Everything was great. And it wasn't until maybe 4 or 5 hours later, when I was at home bed, resting at the end of the day, that I thought, learn a language. Are you crazy? You have a brain injury. You're going to try and learn a new language, you know? And I really think I can do it. So when I think of what I was like 2 years ago, when I could barely even handle a conversation, I couldn't even watch the news, I couldn't watch a documentary, I could only watch stupid things like the Kardashians, you know what I mean? Like, my brain just could not function past the dial tone IQ of a Kardashian, you know? So, to now, now I have this dynamic career 2 years later. I'm feeling better, which is huge. I have my issues, you know what I mean? But I'm way, way better than I was. I feel dynamic mentally. I have a fancy career where now I have to really, it's all in my brain now. And not only am I surviving, but I'm thriving in it. So it does get better. It really does get better. And again, there was not a drug or a vitamin that did it for me. I will tell you what did do it for me, though. It was a combination of vitamin D3 and B12 every day. Every day B12. Don't miss a day. Those two were, and I get shots for B12 too. So I'm just jacking myself full of B12 and vitamin D. Those two, and magnesium. Those three are what I use to manage my pain and my post-concussive stuff. But I have to admit that I only really saw a shift after that man prayed on me at Tim Hortons. Go back on my prior videos. I think I called it miracle or post-concussive. But if I could see this man again, find him somewhere, just so I could say thank you. Because I remember the moment at work too. He was praying on me, and he started talking to my neurons, and he was demanding that my neurons, I forgot what he said to them, but he was telling my neurons to do something, and at that moment my body started to sweat, and I was full of sweat and really, really hot as he was doing that. And it's exactly what I feel like. I feel like I'm awake, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm back and I'm awake. And I really believe that that man praying on me had a lot to do with it. So thank you. Thank you for that miracle. And how that miracle has blessed my life well beyond. Wow. Like, I was grateful just to be able to do that day job again. And it was a shit day job, And I made no money, and it was awful on my body, and it was hard on me. And I was grateful that he allowed me just to do that. But now all these other career things are happening, and things in my family, and just, it's been one miracle after another ever since that man prayed on me. So if anybody offers to pray on you, just do it, man. Believe or don't believe, just give it a shot, because it's astounding what has happened to my life. So thank you, thank you, thank you.